in Eastern time zone and want to welcome everyone today to the monthly partner spotlight. This happens every month, first Wednesday of the month at noon. And the idea is to share various things happening around the Commonwealth that may be useful to you, to the individuals you serve, to the companies you serve, to the companies you belong to. It's to share best practices, initiatives that are public. And so today we're very fortunate to have two presenters. We have Dr. Amanda Ellis and Jessica Fletcher. Dr. Ellis is with the Council on Post-Secondary Education. She's a vice president there. Jessica Fletcher is with KY Stats, and both are leaders of the Kentucky Education Continuum, the Commonwealth Education Continuum, I should say. And they will share the Futuriti platform today that was launched yesterday. So as the momentum continues and sharing this information, we wanted to take this time for them to share this resource, have you all ask any questions that may arise, and make sure it's useful to your stakeholders. And with that, I won't take any more time and hand it over to our speakers, and you all take it away.
Great. Thank you so much, Alisha, for having us and for always being
in progress.
Good morning or afternoon, everyone. As Alisha said, I'm Amanda Ellis, and I'm the Vice President of Student Access and Success, and co-leading this work with Jessica Fletcher, who is of KY Stats, and you'll get to meet her in just a moment. If you will, and if you choose, you can follow with us to see what has been developed, what we're calling Futuriti. And it is the solution we're calling for finding your future in Kentucky. So this idea stemmed from the Commonwealth Education Continuum, which is a P20 council. It is representation from early childhood all the way through K-12, higher education, and into the workforce. And this group of people come together willingly quarterly to really talk about the barriers that Kentucky faces, but not to admire those, rather to then to seek action to improve and strengthen the pipeline and opportunities. So one of the things that came up in 2021, believe it or not, yes, it takes that long to get all the coordination and collaboration together, was the conversation around access to information. And as you can see on this slide, we have a lot of resources in Kentucky. We are very, very fortunate. We have Students' Right to Know, which KY Stats and CPE were in partnership. It's statutorily required that we have transparency for our students and families as they are deciding on a post-secondary institution with the cost, time to degree completion, grants, and so forth. We also have the Kentucky Career Center. We have MyKia that provides financial aid in multiple ways for multiple people who are thinking about upskilling or pursuing a degree. That's also where our Work Ready scholarship comes in, which is really a great opportunity for folks to earn up to an associate's degree that you all are well aware of. And I know KY Stats, or excuse me, KCTCS is on here. They're big players in that. We have KY Stats with a plethora of information about our employer needs, our economic outcomes, what is projected on jobs. We have the FAFSA, that is a federal piece, but that's separate, the Kentucky Adult Education. And so when we started looking at all of our resources, we very quickly found that none of them are connected. So what that does is that sets up barriers and stop gaps for people to know what to do when they are ready to upskill or figure out what jobs are available in Kentucky or what is needed, what is a high demand, what does that mean? How do you credential for those things? And so this idea stemmed from how do we make the experience for the user, whether that be a high school student getting ready to leave high school, an adult who is seeking to go back to earn a credential or degree, maybe they're upskilling for their job, any of our men and women who are in the service and are coming back to civilian life who may not know what they can do and their skills transfer into the workforce. And so with that, we have this incredible collaboration. It's called Futuriti, as I said before, and it really is an opportunity for Kentuckians to seek out the data and the resources they need to help them make informed decisions. And so it's not just about sending people off to school, it's really to help them identify career opportunities in Kentucky. And it's linked then to what type of education or training that they would need to acquire that job or be in that field. And so as you can see on the screen, and Jessica will go through some really incredible aspects with you, and you can even look at it, the QR code we have on each slide for inquiring minds. But the choose your career path, there's some aptitude tests, career quizzes. If there are individuals who just have no idea what they want to do, regardless of age, this can kind of help narrow that down. We have a future finder database that really is the combination of multiple data sources we have in this state that aren't always user friendly and that have never been connected, that will help navigate folks through career interest, the training that is necessary, and what you need to get there. High demand career sectors, especially with the new updated careers. What does that look like in Kentucky? And I know Alisher is either going to be or just shared on the webinar about these demands, the high demand career sectors. A lot of people have questions about it. And then it goes to continue your education. You can look at any of our colleges and universities, and Jess will show you, it'll show you where they are on the map. There's a direct link to the application. There is a direct link to the campus because each campus has their own. And so it makes it a huge barrier if we don't make the user experience smooth to get where they're looking for. Financial aid resources, as I mentioned before, it takes you to the Kia site. We do not house anything sensitive. It takes you to where you need to look, though, for opportunities. And then plans for education and training. And then we have a component of start your career. So it's not just getting through school and earning a credential for nothing. It's really transitioning into that workforce that feeds back into Kentucky's economy for our employers and what we need here, and for people to be able to feed their families and thrive. And so there are links to the Career Center, Kentucky Career Center, regional in-demand jobs. So it's even broken into the regions, resume and interview tips. And we also have resources that we are building on daily that are specific for, right now, Kentucky families. So if they move to Kentucky, where are the child care centers? Where's the housing? There are specific resources for military men and women who have access to the GI Bill, or wraparound supports for them. We have resources for counselors for high school to help guide in career counseling that was developed by high school and college advisors. So we have a lot of different things, but this is really just the beginning. And so what we'd like to do is, I'm going to turn it over to Jessica for her to share some of the highlights of the site, and really hope, as you're thinking about this and learning about it, ways that we can enhance this through your lens that would benefit you as business and industry representatives and campus representatives, really, so we can beef up this area and really make it relevant and a helpful tool for you as well, because we want this to be a really strong pipeline. So Jessica, I'll turn this to you.
Thank you. So I wanted to kind of do a demonstration of what some of the pages actually look like. Obviously, as Amanda said, we have, basically 3 buckets of what the different pathways in Futuriti look like. But for you all, we really wanted to kind of show you what the high demand pieces look like within the site. Thinking that this is very, I keep saying student facing because we spend a lot of time talking to the K-12 and post-secondary audiences, but we really kind of wanted to also make this very user-friendly for people in various industry sectors across the state as they're trying to build up their workforce, upskill the people that they already have in their pipelines, and basically help to create the strongest workforce that Kentucky could have. So the high demand sectors page really kind of talks about this. It looks at high demand in 3 different ways. We look at it as within the sectors. We look at it by education level and by region. So I'm going to walk through kind of how that looks within Futuriti. We explain what each of the 5 demand sectors are. And then we, if you click the links underneath of those descriptions, you will see pages that look like this. So this is the manufacturing and logistics page. And we don't have it animated here, but if you click the arrows on the right-hand side of those green boxes, you will see about 5 different careers, their median wages, their education requirements, and the projected employment. If you click on the Learn More buttons, you will get to our Future Finder, which is the piece that Amanda mentioned that is very data specific. If you're familiar with some of the Kentucky stats tools like Occupational Outlook or Students' Right to Know, it's all the same data. It's just presented in a different way. So those, I call them cards, kind of represent the highlights of each of those careers. And if you scroll further down on the page, you'll see on the right-hand side of this screen, you have your scholarship opportunities that are directly related to these manufacturing career sector. And you can also click onto some additional information within Futurity about paying for education and training or exploring different majors and programs. So that will take you to a very robust part of the site that shows you kind of what programs and majors are offered in Kentucky's public and private universities, as well as the full KCTCS system and some of our proprietary for-profit schools in the system as well. The in-demand careers by education level section breaks down different careers based on how much education a person has. So this section I love because it really shows without saying there's value in education after high school. So if you kind of just look at those median wages, starting from fast food cooks all the way up to lawyers, you'll see how that those wages continually move up. So that's a really cool piece that you can kind of show people as they're kind of considering what they want to do with their educations. Then at the bottom of the page, you can also search, you click on search in-demand jobs by region, and that's going to take you to this page where you can pick which local workforce area you're in, click on one of those pages, and then you'll see let's see, you'll see a page that looks a lot like this, where you can see some of those different high demand careers because we are, as you all know, our local workforce areas have very different needs. So your high demand jobs in far eastern Kentucky might be very different from the high demand jobs in Louisville. So this gives people a chance to see what is actually in demand, not just at the state level, but at their local workforce area level. And then we also wanted to highlight the good work that the Kentucky Career Centers are doing. So this page will allow you to connect with those career service professionals within all of the Kentucky Career Centers throughout the state. And this is Future Finder. We'll walk through it really quick. It's a very interactive tool that really allows you to search for careers you may be interested in or thinking about so that you can see the high level job description. It allows you to see your wages from early career to experienced, but also really highlights that projected employment and shows if the job is in high demand or not. You can also look at it in terms of what degrees are required for the job and what on-the-job trainings are required. Um, the Future Finder career tool allows you to compare several different careers against each other. So as you are scrolling through the careers, you can check mark them and then compare them at the bottom of the screen. And that will take you to something that looks like this, where you can do a side by side to see how the salary ranges differ and what those projected employment numbers are, as well as all of the different places that you can major or study these different careers. And somebody just asked, what is the data source? And you're right, BLS is the data source. That is where all of the labor market information from KY Stats is sourced from. And so all of that feeds into Futuriti from BLS to KY Stats to Futuriti. So this shows you where your this is the majors tab. So this shows you several different data components related to a major specific to a college or university in the state. I will point out that where you see data not available, that usually means because KY Stats does take data privacy very seriously. It usually means there are too few people in a major to be able to show the data because it could potentially identify an individual. So while it is a little bit of a barrier to not be able to see, loan debt information or time to completion like you have here, we that is doing that specifically to meet some data privacy rules. But luckily for this major, you could see the median income 5 years after a student has completed their degree and the percentage of students who stay in Kentucky after they complete that program. Same for this is a master's program. It shows some slightly different data that is not available, but it does show the percentage of graduates employed and the median income, as well as the degree level. And then this is the college view. This shows lots of really cool data that is coming from CPE through the Kentucky Students' Right to Know. Oh, answering that question, EKU is not the only institution listed for journalism. So if you go to the major section and you type in journalism, you should see where all of the others are. These are just screenshots that I took of the actual website to kind of walk through it without us actually doing a live demo, but we can do that in just a couple of minutes after Amanda finishes up. So the college view also shows, in addition to like your cost after grants and scholarships are factored in, it also shows your links to the school website and to the application. So if a student is really interested, they can go straight from Futurity to a school's admissions page. And that looks like all of the demo. Somebody asked if I think it was the question was about the training provider database that I think the Educational Labor Cabinet runs, I believe. We have actually linked and embedded that on the site. We have not yet been able to integrate that data into Future Finder, but you can get to that resource from Futurity. So I will turn it back over to Amanda or stop here and take any other questions that you all have.
Yeah, Jessica, thank you. And Shauna, thank you for asking that question. I do hope you'll definitely look at it. If you did not get the QR code, it's just futurity.org. And we can put that in the chat if that's easier, just so we can see you. But that is this has been a first round. We have launched it. We've been really pleased with it, but this is where we really need your input. What do you feel like really stood out to you? What is missing? And you can feel free to put that in the chat or unmute and engage. We welcome feedback and insight because this is not done. It is just beginning. Like I said before, it's a continuous improvement tool that we want this to be relevant and highly impactful for Kentucky. So I'll read a couple of the questions out. Is it possible to add a school not listed?
It is. It will be a little bit of a coding issue on our end, but it is not impossible. Our plan with the data set is to update it once a year, probably in the fall of each year when BLS numbers have been updated when we have the most recent information coming in from CPE on student loan information. So we will be updating that once a year, but if somebody contacts us and really wants to have like one of the proprietary schools listed, for example, those are the ones that the data that we sourced from primarily from the U.S. Department of Education's scorecard. If it's not listed in there, that's why you wouldn't find it in Futuriti. So we are using all pre-existing data sets. And if you cannot find something, let us know and we will troubleshoot and figure out why it's not there and then work on the back end to figure out how we can add that.
Yes, and I love all of your questions about the marketing. So we do have posters and would love to share them. I will tell you, we have posters because students said, get posters. Don't just do online because we see a lot of online stuff. And so we had about 700 posters printed and would love to share them with you. We want to get them in all of our schools, our ATCs, and any of our partners who would be willing to post them. So we can absolutely, Seth, if you will let us know where you're located, we will find a way to get them to you. We also have one pagers that we can share that just give a really quick overview and the QR code. As far as our marketing, we are getting ready to launch the digital marketing campaign for the next few months to target different populations online. We also have some TV ads that are going out through the Kentucky Broadcasting Association. They are great partners to our Gear Up Kentucky and we've partnered up with them. And then we are also looking at other ways. We're meeting with as many groups to really figure out the best avenues to reach people. Thank you for the recommendations. Definitely, I forgot what size the posters are. They're large. Definitely to put up. I appreciate that really. Because even when we got a quote that was a little crazy and then we said, no, it has to be big. We don't want it small with the frame. Like it's got to be big. So yes, thank you for the feedback. But any other avenues you feel like that we are not getting in front of, or you feel like, gosh, you really need to add this, or we'd like to see this improve, please let us know. Thank you, Lorraine. Absolutely. We have one person up in Northern Kentucky, but she certainly cannot cover the whole part. So I would love your help, and we will definitely follow up with you to get you supplies, because I would really like the distribution of this. We've also thought about adult education centers, GED centers. We have talked this morning with some folks about incarcerated men and women who are starting to earn their degrees and seeking jobs when they get out, or addiction recovery. So there's a lot of different avenues, but really welcome your insight, your expertise in any other thing you would recommend. And Alisher, I definitely want a copy of all the libraries. Great idea. Of the comments, of the notes, if you don't mind. I want to make sure we get them all, because we're logging all this now to get it out there while it's still really fresh.
Yeah, and I just posted 3 links in the chat. One is our one pager, so you all are welcome to download that and print it out and hand it to anybody who might be interested. We do have an 8.5 by 11 printable poster until you get I think it's an 18-inch by 24-inch poster. And then there's also an image on social media. So you can share that on whatever channels you want and tell people to follow Futuriti as well. We are on Instagram, LinkedIn, and just got on Twitter this morning. So you all are welcome to help us spread the word in any way that you want to. And yes, there is actually a really good section on military families. And they are one of our primary audiences. So we really want to reach military families who are, just transitioning out of the military and either considering coming back to Kentucky or know they're coming back, but trying to figure out what they want to do next. We have a video that is targeted toward them. I will share, I think I have that on our YouTube channel, so I can share that link in just a second. But there are lots of resources for those groups on there, as well as like all of the links to understanding how to enact your GI Bill and things like that. Also a foster youth page.
Yes.
It is not super robust because that's not our area of expertise. But
We will
if
figure
you
it out.
go to find the foster youth page on Futuriti and you see things that are missing, please let us know and we will be glad to add those links in.
And Donnie, to your question, we are working on scheduling the tutorial videos. Our counselors and advisors have asked for lesson plans. But we don't want them to be random. We want them to be very targeted and intentional. So we're working through what that looks like to get that out. We already have some drafts, but definitely talked about the video, especially for virtual or live tutorials for folks who are non-traditional. So we want to make sure it's clear and they feel worthy and it's not confusing to them. So stay tuned. We might reach out to you to make sure that we've covered the right information. You've always been a great partner. And then Marilyn, we will definitely follow up with you on the 28th. We can definitely check in and happy to follow up to confirm with you for a 30-minute Zoom. Would love to be a part of that. So we can absolutely follow through to let you know who would be there if that sounds okay.
Yes.
Absolutely.
No, it was just warm like 2 days ago. Good to see you.
This has been really helpful feedback. I really appreciate it. If there's anything else you all have for us, we are happy to answer emails or hop on a call, anything you need. We are really getting so much great feedback, and we want to make sure that we are responsive and really seeing the many populations we have in Kentucky, that we're not just leaning in on one or the other. We really want to be inclusive. So, and our site is accessible. So it's gone through a very rigorous ADA review with screen readers and all kinds of things. There were a couple little tweaks we were fixing, but overall it is accessible. And then Jessica, I'm going to let you answer this one. Does an ETPL, oh, it just went away. Sorry. Oh, there we go. A scorecard exist in any capacity?
Scorecard, no. I'm not aware of one. Alisher or Debbie, if you know of one, please let us know and we'd be glad to link to that.
Yeah.
Not at the moment.
Okay. And triple tasking. It looks like the link that I posted for that one pager wasn't working, or you needed some Google credentials. I just posted the actual file in the chat, so you can download that, and that does have the QR code as well.
And then we had a question asking if we requested a session at the CTE conference. Not yet, but conferences are on our list to go and definitely share, be present. We are going to push out a lot of the links and information at the Student Success Summit, which we have about 450 people going this week who do wraparound support.
Yeah, and I think we didn't really talk about it in this presentation, but as far as CTE is concerned, we worked really closely with the Office of CTE at the Department of Ed. And one of the sections of Future Finder shows students all of the program areas and career pathways that are offered at their individual schools and at their associated career and technical centers. So it is, for the first time ever, there is an easy way for students to see a listing of what's available at their school or at schools that they'll be going to like after they get out of middle school. So middle schoolers are also kind of on our target audience list because, that's the best time to start thinking about and planning for your career. So you can take advantage of all of the CTE pathways at your school and then start planning for dual credit classes. We also have lots of information about early post-secondary opportunities. So just lots of different ways for students to start that career education and get excited about school. Like that's one thing we love about this is at the K-12 level, it really gives students incentive to understand why they're in school and help them build that passion for what they want to do after school early so they stay engaged through middle school and high school all the way through graduation, and then complete whatever requirements are needed for that career, and then move on into doing what they're passionate about.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing the link to the CTE summer program. I know we do have the KAA already going, and so we can definitely connect with that. It's a great idea. The developer, we actually worked with KEDC to help us find a developer, and so it's Counterpart. Is what it is. They're actually located in Indiana, and so they have been excellent partners, but content has been all internal. It is Jessica, and we have representation from KDE, and we've pulled in Kia, CPE, and then we have literally gone out and had focus groups with about 1,200 people, and have really taken in feedback from adults, military students, middle school, high school, parents, advisors, faculty at campuses, employers, to really give us some insight. And yeah, so it's been very good for us, and that's why we really want to open the door for you all to share resources, ideas, and ways to really get the word out. But if we're missing something, tell us that too. Very, very thoughtful about our audiences, and trying to be intentional, but we're far from perfect, and this is a big thing. So we're just grateful that we were able to come together and collaborate and make this thing come to life. So,
Well, Dr. Ellis,
Wow.
Jessica, thank you all for sharing. I think you had a pretty active group here for
so
lunch.
appreciated. Yes.
And I just want to note that this very well fits with the KWIB and the state's strategic goal of making sure education, attainment, and career exposure happens for all ages. And this is a great tool you all are utilizing, highlighting the high demand sectors, highlighting the high demand occupations per region. So thank you all for the work. Anyone on here that wants to follow up, you should have the email addresses on the flyer that you were able to log on with. But if you want a connection through us at the KWIB, we'd be glad to introduce you and allow this tool to be used in your capacity. With that, thank you very much. I will turn it over to Alicia on our staff to briefly share what's we're planning on for March, so you all just have an understanding of what's coming in March. It's going to be a little different way that we're going to conduct Partner Spotlight. So Alicia, if you don't mind sharing briefly, and then we can let individuals go.
Yes. So before we sign off, we wanted to share some details about the next in-person Partner Spotlight event. It's happening on Wednesday, March 5th, and it's called My Story Reimagined, featuring Kentucky adult education at the Kentucky Derby Museum. The event is complimentary and will feature a speaker on reentry along with an interactive reentry simulation. Seats are limited, so be sure to register. We will provide the link in the chat, or you can use the QR code on the screen. It is a great opportunity. We went last year, so don't miss out. Absolutely look into it. But thank you for being here, and we look forward to seeing you Wednesday, March 5th.
Again, we will not be online in March. See you in person in Louisville if you have the chance to join us. And we can definitely share the PowerPoint with Dr. Myers there. Thank you all. Have a great Wednesday. Have a great week. Enjoy 2025. Take care.
Thanks all.
Bye.